Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. Today I will be counting down my top 10 most anticipated new coasters I'll be riding in 2024. So this year I'm actually going to get a lot more credits probably and go to a lot of new parks. If all goes as planned, I will be going to Six Flags Great America, Mount Olympus, Bay Beach, Fun Spot, America Atlanta, Holiday World, and Kentucky Kingdom out of new parks I'll be visiting this year. And of course I'll be revisiting my home park and also revisiting Kings Island. And if for anybody that doesn't know yet, I am working at Cedar Point this summer, which I am very excited for. I have posted it on my Instagram already, and I'm really looking forward to that. But I'll be doing some trips occasionally this summer also, which I'm excited for those as well, but I'm really excited to be working at Cedar Point this summer actually. But in this video, I'll be counting down my top 10 most anticipated new credits I'll be getting this year. Some honorable mentions are Goliath at Six Flags Great America, Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America, Hurricane at Fun Spot Atlanta, Mount Hades 360 at Mount Olympus, and Ravine Flyer 2 at Waldameer. Alright, let's get into the video. Kicking off the top 10 is Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point. This is a new addition to Cedar Point in 2024, and the reason why this is on the list is because when I went to Cedar Point in 2021, Top Thrill Dragster was closed, and now that Top Thrill Dragster is gone and this is its replacement, I am very excited actually to see how this ride is, as it will feature the top hat still that was on Top Thrill Dragster, and also the spike actually looks pretty good. The launch backwards actually looks good also. I'm expecting the spike to be a actually very good element. The top hat is probably going to feel like a normal top hat, so similar to King Dakar, except King Dakar has that insane vibe, has the rattle on the going up the top hat, which makes the ride feel more insane. So I don't think Top Thrill 2 is going to feel that insane. I'm expecting Top Thrill 2 to still be a good ride, but it kind of looks like a sit-down impulse coaster, but with a top hat and a full complete layout. But overall, Top Thrill 2 does look like it's going to be a very good ride. Not sure where it's going to rank around. I don't know if it'll be in my top 50, but it looks like it's going to be a very good ride still. Number 9 is going to be a surprise to a lot of people, and that is Pegasus at Mount Olympus. Why is this so high, you may ask? Well, my friend Mr. Roller Coasters has said some very interesting things about this ride, and has made it sound like this ride is actually pretty good. But then I've heard from a ton of people that this ride is just absolutely awful. So I'm very intrigued to actually see how this ride is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to like it, I don't know if I'm not going to like it, or I don't know if it's just going to be mediocre. This ride just looks extremely strange with the layout. I mean, I don't know what to expect from this ride at all. It looks alright, but it could just be, it could either be a very surprisingly good coaster, or it could just be awful. I don't know what to expect from Pegasus. So that's why it is actually a top 10 most anticipated coaster I'm riding, just because it looks so strange and unique, and I just have no idea what to expect from the ride. But I'll find out this summer. Number 8 is Thunderbird. Now, Thunderbird is a ride I am extremely excited for. This ride definitely looks like the best wing coaster. Well, the best B&M wing coaster. This is a ride that I'm just really excited to ride. The launch looks awesome. The ride layout looks awesome. I've heard the ride is actually surprisingly very intense and forceful. The pacing on the ride also looks really good. This just overall looks like it's going to be a fantastic coaster. It looks well paced, as I said. It looks intense. This just looks like a ride that I know I'm going to really like. So it's definitely one of my most anticipated coasters I'm riding this year. It looks great. Number 7 is Max Force, which in my opinion does look like the best coaster at Six Flags America. That launch looks absolutely ridiculous. It looks like the best launch on any coaster possibly in North America. The ride looks to just whip you through basically the final 2 elements. The dog tongue element looks pretty slow, but that's kind of expected. Kind of reminds me of a top hat, the look of that inversion. But that 0G roll after the dog tongue element looks insane. So does that final inversion going into the brake run. That looks like a really good inversion. Max Force just looks like an insane ride. I'm really excited for this ride, mainly because of the launch. That launch, as I said, looks insane. this coaster does look like it could be a top 25 or top 30 coaster for sure, mainly because that launch just looks absolutely ridiculous. So, and I think this ride also does look like it probably will be best in the park. This ride just looks really, really good, and I can't wait to ride it this summer. Number 6 is Zippin' Pippin, and the main reason this ride is actually this high on the list is for one reason. I've heard that final hill is absolutely ridiculous and one of the best airtime moments on any coaster in North America. And that is mainly the reason why this is so high. That hill, from what I've seen from the POVs and from what I've heard, looks absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention the other airtime hills on this ride actually look like they could provide some really good airtime also. Um, this does look like a very good wooden coaster. I'm going into this ride with open expectations as well. I'm not really sure what to expect from it. It looks like a really good ride from what I see from the POVs, and that final hill just looks ridiculous, as I said. So Zippin' Pippin is a ride I am going into with open expectations, I'll say. Not really sure how good the ride is going to be. I'm expecting it to be very good, but I'll see for myself this summer. Number 5 is Storm Chaser, and this ride just looks absolutely fantastic. This looks like an amazing RMC, and I've heard from many people it is an amazing RMC. The airtime looks really strong on this ride. All the moments look to absolutely slap on this ride. This just looks like a extremely good ride, and one that I know is probably going to rank inside my top 10, and if not in my top 10, my top 15. This just looks like a great RMC. As I said, the airtime looks amazing. It just, and the pacing actually looks pretty good too. This just looks like a fantastic RMC that I am very excited to experience this summer. I'm expecting an amazing ride out of it, so definitely one of my most anticipated coasters I'm riding this year. Number 4 is Lightning Run. This ride just looks insane. The layout just seems like it reminds me of Sky Rush's layout for some reason in a way. I don't know why, but the first half of this ride, like these elements, the next couple elements right here, they just remind me of Sky Rush's layout for some reason, and I absolutely love Sky Rush. Lightning Run, I could actually see Lightning Run being better than Storm Chaser. I'm not so sure, but I could see it possibly being better than Storm Chaser. I've heard the airtime on this ride is amazing, and the airtime on this ride does look absolutely incredible. The finale looks insane. All the hills on this ride look to provide some amazing airtime. This just looks like a fantastic coaster that I am very excited to experience this summer. As I said, the airtime looks amazing on it. The ride, it just looks to pack so much through those elements, and it just looks like a fantastic coaster, and I can't wait to ride it this year. Number 3 is The Voyage. Now, this ride I've heard so many good things about. I've heard it's just absolutely insane, especially when the ride is trimless. The ride looks to have some great airtime. However, I've heard from some people that when the ride isn't running trimless, the ride does not really live up to the hype that much. Now, I still think Voyage is going to be an amazing coaster. I'm expecting a top 15 coaster out of it probably, because I'm not going to be riding it trimless probably, unless it is running trimless when I go. Because I'm not going during Hollywood Nights, and that seems like the only time they do run this ride trimless. However, no matter what, Voyage looks like it's going to be an incredible coaster. The ride looks long, it looks fast-paced through some of its elements. The hills look to provide some great airtime. The ride just looks to pack so much of a punch, and it looks to never end either. The ride just has such a long layout. It looks like a fantastic coaster that I am so excited to experience. I've heard a lot of good things about this ride, so I am very excited to experience it. It's not my most anticipated coaster at Holiday World, but in my opinion, yes, this does look like the best ride in a park. And number 2 is The Legend, also at Holiday World. While I'm not expecting this to be the best coaster in the park, it is my most anticipated coaster for many reasons. This ride looks like it has insane pacing. The ride looks out of control. The elements, it just looks to throw you through those elements so quickly. The ride's pacing looks insane. I've heard it feels out of control, and it looks like it's going to be an out of control coaster. This just looks like an amazing coaster. I've heard it is rough, and I feel like the roughness would actually add to the experience of this ride. I don't know why, but it just looks like it would. This ride just looks crazy, and it's definitely one of my most anticipated coasters I'm riding this summer. as I said, the pacing just looks unbelievable. I've heard it's insane from many people. I've heard the ride feels out of control from many people, and that's what it looks like. This ride just looks insane, and I can't wait to ride it this summer. And number 1 is Air Force One. This ride just looks unbelievable. This looks like a top tier RMC, actually one of the best RMCs in my opinion, if not the best. This ride looks absolutely crazy. I've heard so many good things about it. I've heard the airtime is absolutely crazy. The airtime looks ridiculous on this ride, by the way, especially on that finale, which I heard the finale is insane. I've heard this ride is similar to Wildcats Revenge, feels very similar to it in a way, and Wildcats Revenge is my number 1 coaster. So I could possibly see this ride possibly being my number 1 coaster after I ride it, but I'm not sure. Because Wildcats Revenge is amazing, and if this is just a better version of Wildcats Revenge and the elements hit harder, this ride probably will be my number 1. But I'll see for myself this summer. But Air Force One is definitely my most anticipated coaster I am riding this year. It is my number 1 bucket list coaster in North America, actually. Not my number 1 bucket list coaster in the world that goes to DC Rivals, but in North America, this is my number 1 bucket list coaster. And I'm so excited to ride it this summer. So yeah, that is my top 10 most anticipated coasters I am riding this year. Just letting you guys know, this is most certainly not how I'm expecting these rides to rank at all. These are just my top 10 most anticipated, so like the coasters I'm most anticipated for in order, like out of the top 10. But yeah, I'm just really excited for this year. It's going to be a great coaster season, hopefully. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, also subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. This is King Kyle, signing off.